What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Yes, sir. Alright, so if you're familiar with this channel, you know we don't talk a lot about eMotos. Not a lot of eMoto content on this channel. But today, we're going to talk a little bit about eMotos. So let me just go ahead and clarify about what this video is about. If you're not really sure what an eMoto is, we're talking about the Surons, the Telarias, the E-Ride Pros, the Aurora Mantises, the Altus Sigmas, the Ventus Ones. Those are eMotos. Those style of bikes, that's what we're talking about in this video. When we get to this new California bill proposal, SB 586. So what is SB 586? Why does it matter? Why is this one kind of making waves? What's so different about this one here? What's different from what we've been hearing for the last few years about eMotos and how everyone hates eMotos? Well, there's a few things. So before, let's just kind of run down the timeline. The eMoto style bike, the bikes that don't have pedals, that dirt bike style of bike, they've been illegal for a long time. They're not street legal bikes. Now here in LA specifically, they don't really care. I see people all the time riding Surons. I see people all the time riding E-Ride Pros, whatever they're on. They ride right past the cops. No one really cares here in LA. Now, the thing is, it's not the same everywhere. There's some places where they absolutely do care. There's some places where they will absolutely confiscate and, take your bike from you and impound it. You're paying $3,000, $4,000 for these bikes, however much you're paying. You don't want your bike being impounded. I don't think that's what you want. So the fact that they're illegal, that's not what's new. What's new is a couple things. So let's go ahead and break this down. The bill proposal 586, SB 586, they came up with a genius idea to classify these bikes as eMotos, which is a new classification. They're like, hey, you know what? What should we call these bikes? They're not really e-bikes. They're kind of like electric motorcycles. They're kind of like dirt. What? eMoto? Hey, wait. I think that's a good one. Let's do eMoto. That's a good one. Yeah. So they're now calling them eMotos, which we've been calling them eMotos forever. So that's not a new thing. Outside of that, though, let's make a right turn. Just taking random turns. Outside of that, what they are now going to attempt to require, because it's not a law yet, it's a bill proposal, and they actually just had the hearing for this a couple days ago on April 22nd, 2025. So it hasn't gone into effect just yet. But what's going to be different is that now they're trying to officially require everyone for these off-road style bikes to either have registration or to have some type of tracking device on your bike where they can identify you. Similar to a VIN number on a car, right? Vehicle identification number. So now they're going to try to require you to have that on your bikes. Now, this is something that, if you kind of been paying attention to this is something that has been expected for a while. But there was no, as far as I know, to the best of my knowledge, there was no official proposals for it here in California where they're really trying to lock it in. They're really locking down on it and focusing on it and trying to make it a law like they're doing now. So what do I think about that? I think there's a few things that are kind of going on with that. In my opinion, it's really just about money, right? Because if you're required now to have some type of registration, you got to pay for that registration. So similar to a car, every year you have to renew your registration, right? Now, maybe it's different for a bike. Maybe they'll have you renew it every 2 years. But for one, that's money that you're going to have to pay for an annual renewal, which is stupid. The other thing is, if you happen to get pulled over, or if you happen to, get caught with your bike not having the proper registration, now they can potentially fine you. So not only would it be that your bike could get impounded, but now you can get fined as well and maybe even have some type of mark on your DMV record. I don't know how all that will work, but they're basically trying to lock it in so where they can make money off you. So when you kind of pay attention to the reasons that they claim they want to enforce this new bill, they claim it's for safety purposes. I want to go ahead and kind of defend the people that are actually just riding these style of bikes just for the sake of riding them. I'm not talking about, the people that are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I made a whole nother video on that if you want to know. I made a whole nother video on that. But I'm not talking about that stuff, right? I'm talking about like the people that are just riding these bikes because it helps them commute back and forth to work. I'm talking about the people that are riding this bike because it gives them good range so they can go back and forth to their friend's house. The people that are riding these types of bikes because they want to get back and forth to their girl's house. You know what I mean? Like, there are a group of people that just ride these bikes the right way. Even though they're off-road vehicles, they're still following all the things you're supposed to follow for, the laws of the land and the road. So, kind of sucks to penalize everybody. But it's really just about tracking you. It's really just about trying to identify who's who so they can charge you, so they can fine you, so they can know who you are and dock you 1 point, dock you 2 points, whatever, and try to take your bike from you. And then also on a quick side note as well, if you do like that style of bike, they do have some options that have pedals. First one that comes to mind right now is the Happy Run G300, which is that, dirt bike, eMoto style type of bike, but it has pedals. So if that's something that you're concerned about, I know the Talaria XXX, they have a pedal option that you can get. So if that's something that you're concerned about, they do have those style of bikes where you can get pedals and you don't have to worry about it, potentially being confiscated, because that's really a big part of it too, is that these eMoto bikes don't have pedals. And at least here in LA and California, I don't know the laws everywhere else, but I know here they have to be operable. Now again, they don't really check at all. They really don't check, but hopefully it stays that way. But if that ever happened where you had to show a cop or somebody your pedals, you could just show them that they're functional and that they're operable, and look, it has pedals, and they'll be like, okay, cool. So that's an option, something to consider, something to think about. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Do you think that it's fair to require these eMotos to have, basically a registration and a license plate? And do you think that's fair, or do you feel like, hey, well, electric motorcycles, you have to have, a license for that, or you have to go to a class, you have to have registration for that. So if you're riding off-road bikes on the road and not off-road, then yeah, you should have to have the proper registration for it. Let me know what you think one way or the other, guys. I'm curious to know. Thank you guys for watching the video. As always, I'll make sure I have the link down below for you guys, so that if you want to read through the bill yourself, SB 586, you can read through it. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Thanks for watching, guys. I always appreciate you. Catch you in the next one. Take care.